Hello, everybody. My name is Joshua Breitbart, Senior Vice President for Connect All at Empire State Development. We'll wait a few more minutes for participants to join, and then we'll get started. Thank you. Well, hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for this Municipal Infrastructure Program Phase 4 Request for Applications information session. To start, just want to thank you all for your time today and your interest in the program. And also thank all of my colleagues at Connect All and Empire State Development and our consultant team, as well as the applicants and grant recipients and their teams that have made this program successful through these first phases. We're pleased with the opportunity that the governor has given us to extend this program in partnership with the Department of Treasury and to share these updates with you today. Next slide. Provide some initial information to welcome you to this session, give an update overview of the Municipal Infrastructure Program, some specifics of the Phase 4 request for applications, and the next steps. As we go through this, this presentation is really going to focus on the update to the program. If you may already be familiar with the program from the first 3 phases, and most of it has stayed the same. You'll carry that information forward. If not, we'll be sharing information that we've presented in the past, so you can get up to speed if you are new to the program. Next slide, please. So for this session today, we will be recording it, and the recording and the slides will be sent to all participants and posted to the Connect All website. As we go through, as Rose is doing now, we'll be sharing important links in the meeting chat, and the links will also be included in the email that we send out. We will not be responding to questions live on this session. You can submit your questions using the Q&A function in Zoom or by email to mip@esd.ny.gov. We will be updating the existing Q&A document to clarify anything that has changed with respect to Phase 4 from the first 3 phases, and we will be providing the answers to the questions we receive as we receive them, and posting those updates to the Q&A, and we'll include the link to that and that information when we send this out after this presentation. Thank you. Next slide. Connect All, as many of you may be familiar with, is Governor Hochul's initiative to transform New York's digital infrastructure, build a robust broadband marketplace, and bring affordable, reliable, high-speed internet service to all New Yorkers. And we're working across multiple signature programs, including the Municipal Infrastructure Program, which is our focus today. Next slide. Next slide. So the objectives for the program remain the same: make broadband in New York more like a basic utility by investing in publicly owned and or controlled networks, connecting tens of thousands, beyond that really, of locations with future-proof broadband infrastructure that can be used by multiple internet service providers, prioritize projects that address unserved and underserved locations, and that meet Connect All's mandate to develop a robust, equitable broadband marketplace. With the Phase 4 change, the program is now nearly $300 million in funding, $295 million approximately of funding from the U.S. Department of Treasury Capital Projects Fund. Next slide. We began the Municipal Infrastructure Program with a series of pilot projects, working in partnership with the New York Power Authority and a number of other public entities and private internet service providers across the state, in Sherburne, in Chenango County, Tioga County, Lewis County, and St. Lawrence County. And we applied the lessons learned in bringing service to more than 3,000 homes across those communities to the design of the full program. Next slide. And so far to date, including those pilot projects, we have 16 active projects. We've awarded, again, including the $10 million dedicated to that pilot project, over $250 million of awards. And those projects are on their way towards serving over 100,000 homes and businesses, building out over 2,500 fiber miles, and deploying approximately 4 dozen wireless hubs. And this information that you see up here and some more information about each one of the projects can be found on the Connect All project dashboard at the link here. Next slide. As I mentioned before, the governor announced that nearly $50 million is available. $50 million is available through an expansion of this program, highlighting that we are opening this new request for applications, and that it expands the program to nearly $300 million, and that it will build on the governor's state of the state commitment to establish the Excelsior Broadband Network to build and connect a network of public broadband assets across the state. Next slide. If you did not see the governor's announcement related to Excelsior Broadband Network in the 2025 State of the State book, she wrote that building on the public broadband infrastructure work that Governor Hochul has undertaken over the last few years, the governor will launch the Excelsior Broadband Network, a new statewide public broadband network with the aim of reaching from Buffalo to Plattsburgh to Syracuse and Albany to Binghamton and New York City, but really across the state. The Excelsior Broadband Network will build and connect a network of public broadband assets across the state, and the first component will be a new fiber line that runs the full length of the New York Thruway. Next slide. So now I'll provide the updates to the request for applications that you will find as part of phase 4. So as we go through, some of the key updates will be shown in blue. But really, this is not a replacement for going through and reading the request for applications. So that is really the most critical thing is to review it again. There is a change log at on the request for applications. And so I encourage you to review that as well if you're already familiar with the request for applications from the previous phases. One aspect of the key changes is that in addition, the connections can directly connect or facilitate connections to home, businesses, community anchor institutions, data centers, internet exchange locations, or regional publicly controlled broadband infrastructure. So, but the key is also in terms of directly connecting or facilitating, you do have to explain how it's facilitating those last mile connections. So it still has to be in service of that level of connectivity, but it can explain how it is providing that facilitation if it is not providing a direct connection to those homes and businesses. And again, clarifying the full range of connections that can be delivered in the course of that project. The objective of the request for application remains the same: to improve broadband access in communities across the state facing connectivity challenges due to the lack of affordable high-speed internet infrastructure. Next slide, please. So some more specifics of what you may see as changes. Many things, again, remaining the same, including that the projects must reach substantial completion before December 31st, 2026. And some of the changes we made are in consideration of that deadline, which of course is now closer. One modification is that grant awards are now anticipated to be under $10 million. Previously, we had put $30 million as a threshold. And again, can deliver or facilitate reliable high-speed internet service, meeting the minimum performance requirements that you can find in the RFA. That also means, so again, facilitate that letters of commitment or intent from internet service providers to use new infrastructure can now be accepted. The locations to connect now can include community anchor institutions, data centers or internet exchanges, and points of interconnection to regional publicly controlled broadband infrastructure. We still are looking for forms of public ownership or forms of public control of the infrastructure, but also clarifying interconnection open access requirements, that they apply to all applicants, and that ConnectAll anticipates applicants offering Empire State Development an indefeasible right of use for all or a portion of the infrastructure. And again, that can be addressed in the application of the approach or other considerations for those requirements, for those program requirements. Next slide. Eligible public applicants for this phase. It's open to all the applicants that had previously been eligible across the 3 phases. We've also clarified that not-for-profit entities, generally speaking, are considered eligible applicants. So that's been clarified. Next slide. And again, just but what does not change again is the role of the a public component to it. So again, you can speak to that in your application. Next slide. Thank you. How to apply has stayed the same. So if you want more details about how to work through the consolidated funding application portal, you can find that in the previous presentation that we did. And you can find the application instructions and the checklist on the page for the program generally. Next slide. The process by which ConnectAll will review the applications also remains the same, and the scoring criteria remains the same. So again, much of this, if you are familiar with the program, is consistent with those adjusted requirements that we reviewed on the previous slide. And thank you, Rose, for providing the link to that previous presentation, which goes into how to engage with the consolidated funding application portal in greater detail. Next slide. So obviously the timeline is new. So the applications is open now. We're having the information session today. Applications are due April 25th. We anticipate notifying applicants no later than May 23rd and proceeding to incentive proposals by the end of June. And again, as a reminder, as you consider applications and projects to propose, that these projects must reach substantial completion before December 31st, 2026. So keep that in mind when you are scoping the project for your application. Next slide. So next steps to sum up. Again, this presentation is not a substitute for reviewing the request for applications, which you can find at the link on the slide, and we'll be sending these slides out along with those key links. So please review that, and again, review the change log, which will has greater detail on the modified program requirements, eligibility, and other considerations that we reviewed in this presentation. If you have questions, and thank you for sharing your questions in the Q&A below and at the email address on the screen, please do that. And again, we will be updating the existing Q&A and posting answers to new questions that we receive in short order, and we'll send those out to everybody who's been registered for this webinar or has inquired to that email address. Once you've gone through that process, if you haven't already, and you don't really have to wait for it, you can create an account on the Consolidated Funding Application Portal, which is how you access the full funding questions. And you can, and then we also provide an application instructions and checklist to gather everything required for a complete application. Please consult that before finalizing your application to make sure that it is complete so that we can quickly review everything that's been submitted and move forward with this phase, building on the successful achievements of the program to date. Next slide. Really just to say that again, all applications must be submitted through the portal. So, it's good to go ahead and make sure you're set up with that, and you can review all the questions through the portal. So no need to wait to go ahead and do that. And again, if you want to review the previous information session from February of last year, which provides additional background context and detail on how to go through the consolidated funding application. The link is on the slide here and will be shared in the chat and in the email we send out. That covers what we wanted to cover today. Again, any questions that you may have, please send them by email. We are working right now to answer questions that we've received, and we will be responding to them in due course so that you have the information that you need to respond by the deadline. Again, I want to thank the team that supports these presentations, that supports the review of applications, and everybody that is already hard at work implementing these projects across the state. And we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you, and we'll leave it open for a little bit in case anybody wants to add additional questions into the Q&A. Otherwise, make sure that you have this email address for any questions that you might have. Thank you.